Welcome. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 9, National Football League. Bills hosting the Kansas City Chiefs, the only unbeaten team left in the National Football League. Huge game for the Kansas City Chiefs for a number of reasons. You're going into your bye week. Huge matchup against the Denver Broncos on the horizon. You don't want to have a letdown, a slip up right before your bye, right before that game. You want to go into that game with all the steam, all the momentum you can. If you're Buffalo, you're looking to spoil somebody's party. You're not totally out of this thing yet in the AFC, but with all the injuries to your quarterback position, going to be very tough for you to make hay in the AFC. But look, this is a dangerous Buffalo Bills team at home. I can't stress that enough. I've talked about this on numerous occasions, including the preview for this game. I said, look, this is a dangerous game. This is a trap game. And if you're not careful, you'll fall prey to that trap, much like the Cincinnati Bengals did on Thursday night. So I told Kansas City, be careful here. Be careful. And you know, anytime you play the Chiefs, you've got a shot. Doesn't matter who you are. You've got a shot because the Chiefs don't like to score points. And so if you can find a way to muster 20 or 23 versus this stingy Kansas City defense, nobody's been able to do that thus far this season. But if you can be the lucky one to find a way to scratch and claw and get 20, 23 points, you can find yourself in a prime position to beat this Kansas City Chiefs team. And the Buffalo Bills had every opportunity to do that in this game. Let's look at the board and break down this game from the eyes of me, Louie T. So you look at this football game. 8-0 Chiefs, 3-5 Buffalo Bills. Leotis McKelvin, nifty punt return. Touchdown is negated by blocking it back. But Bills still generated a drive. However, the normally short-handed Scott Chandler drops the football on 3rd and 4 and ends the drive. That was a little surprising. Jeff Toole, a young undrafted quarterback out of Washington State. I talked about this in the preview for the game. I said, look, you give me anybody but Jeff Toole in this game, I'm picking the Bills because I thought that they could do enough defensively at home. This is a young, hungry, talented Buffalo Bills defense. And with what the Chiefs do offensively, the Bills can stop them from scoring points. Probably force a couple of turnovers while they're at it. And so I said, look, you give me Thad Lewis, you give me E.J. Manuel, anybody but Jeff Toole, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills in this one. But I said, but Jeff Toole is going to start this game, and I don't trust Jeff Toole. If I don't know you, I don't trust you. And I don't know Jeff Toole, so I don't trust him. And I knew he was going to turn it over. And this Chiefs defense, so opportunistic. They are going to force some mistakes at some point in this game. You've got to find a way to limit the amount that they force. But at some point, they're going to get you. This defense forces turnovers. You got to limit the amount of damage that these turnovers do throughout the course of the game. So to have a touchdown call back, that's number one. That's public enemy number one. You can't take points off the board. So the touchdown is negated, but then you still mount a drive anyway. You get the ground game going. You get Jeff Toole comfortable, a couple of short completions to really get him comfortable in this game. You move the ball down the field. He hits you in your hands on an out route on 3rd and 4 for about a 6-yard pickup, and the normally short-handed Scott Chandler drops the football. I couldn't believe it. Scott Chandler doesn't drop the football. What he did on this play, Bills have to punt the football. So, look, you want to win, you want to beat the Chiefs, you want to be the first team to knock the Chiefs off, got to make plays. That first drive, it was anything but the Bills making plays. They couldn't get out of their own way. So nothing comes of that first drive. But the one thing this Bills team has a plethora of guys that can run. Speed! That's the one thing you can't teach. You can't teach speed. And Marquise Goodwin, 59-yard TD strike from Jeff Toole, 7-0 Buffalo Bills. The previous play, they had TJ Graham open, Jeff Toole overshot him, and the Bills had the audacity to come back on the very next snap to the same exact route. This time they said, we're going to put even more speed on the field. See if you can stop it. Marquise Goodwin runs past double coverage. Jeff Toole makes a beautiful throw, lays it out there for him to go get it. He runs under it. It's 7-0 Buffalo. Whoa, okay. I see you, Jeff Toole. I see you, Buffalo. Can you continue to play this way for 4 quarters, however? We'll see. Bills squander an opportunity to really change the game after Jerry Hughes forces a fumble of Alex Smith. He gets in, Alex Smith a little reckless with the football, ball comes out. Leonis McKelvin tries to scoop it up, and it doesn't work. He doesn't recover it, and the Chiefs ultimately end up getting an opportunity to punt the football. Come on, Leonis. Sometimes you just got to know when you got to fall on the football. At times, yeah, if you're athletic enough, hey, go ahead and scoop it and score. No problem with that. But in this particular situation, in this instance, there was too much traffic, too much garbage around you for you to try to scoop it and score. Just fall on the football, recover it, take possession, and this would have been right around midfield. This would have gave you some great field position. Even if you get a field goal out of this, the Chiefs don't score a lot of points. The more points you score, the better opportunity you give yourself to win this football game. Instead, you allow them to punt, pin you back. This Chiefs defense gets to protect 80 to 85 to 90 yards of real estate. Good luck trying to score on this elite Chiefs defense. So, speaking of which, you force the punt, then Jeff Tuel throws an interception on the very first play on the next possession, leads to a Kansas City Chiefs field goal. It's 7-3, so there you have it. Instead of you having an opportunity to go get points of your own, they punt, pin you deep, Jeff Tuel turns it over, turns into KC points. It's 7-3. You're still leading, but now you're starting to look dangerous, and this is what I'm talking about. I don't trust Jeff Tuel. So, Bills move the football into the red zone, but great play by cornerback Marcus Cooper on third down forces Bills to kick a field goal. It's 10-3, Buffalo up in this football game. Marcus Cooper has been a standout for this Kansas City Chiefs team, and this is one of those diamond in the rough finds. One of these hidden gems nobody's talking about. You quietly stash him on the roster after you draft this guy, and he starts making noise, and everybody wants to know, hey, where did this guy come from? Who is this guy? And he's making plays, and he's in the mold of what teams are looking for at the cornerback position, long at 6'1", and he's just making plays. That's all Marcus Cooper is doing, is making plays, whether it's a pick or something else, and we'll talk about that something else later on in this breakdown. But it's 10-3 Bills right now, and I tell you what, I'll get to it. It's just so frustrating when you see a team trying to turn the corner, but they can't get out of their own way. Dexter McCluster, huge drop on 2nd and 8 right before the half, and Alex Smith was dropping back. He throws it off his back foot. He sees a wide open Dexter McCluster. He hits him in stride. And normally, Dexter McCluster catches the football. I think this was one of those lapses in concentration. You want to run before you catch the football. There was a lot of real estate in front of him. He probably felt like, hey, if I catch this, I can split the difference and get in the end zone. But you got to catch the football. Before you can have a ball, you got to catch the ball. And so, can't run and have fun without the ball. And Dexter McCluster dropped the football. Chiefs get nothing out of this. That's a tough play because you know the Chiefs struggle to score. You got to take advantage of every opportunity you get to score. And the Bills were playing some really quality defense in this game. So to have an open opportunity like this, got to take advantage of it. Dexter McCluster does not. Results in the Chiefs punt. And so Bills go to the half, 10-3, feeling good about themselves. Hold on a minute. Jeff Tuel doing just enough. Bills defense doing what they've done all season at home. Could it be? Let's see. C.J. Spiller with a 61-yard run on the first play of the second half sets Bills up in scoring territory. A few Fred Jackson runs lands Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs 1-yard line. So they run the ball a couple of times. They get stuffed. Dontari Poe and company not having the Bills running this one in. So they get lucky. Then they get a pass interference in the end zone, which gives the Bills 3 more opportunities to put this ball in from the 1-yard line. So they run a couple of plays unsuccessfully. It's 3rd and goal from the 1. If you're Buffalo, this is your opportunity. This is your chance to win this football game. You go up 17-3, your chances of winning this game explode exponentially because Kansas City isn't a team that's going to explode for 20, 23 points and a half, especially the way you're playing defense in this game. You go up 17-3. You got the Chiefs right where you want them. And then the game-changing play happens. The game was never the same after this play. 100-yard pick six by Sean Smith. And the reason this play was so egregious is because Stevie Johnson won at the line of scrimmage. And he's as wide open as you can get in the National Football League in the end zone. I mean, he won at the line of scrimmage, beat Sean Smith off the line. Sean Smith didn't even bother to run with him. And Jeff Toole, instead of staying on Stevie Johnson, or at least looking at him, I don't even know if he was looking at him, decided to force the ball. And I think what he thought was going to happen was that it was man coverage. Stevie Johnson won off the line of scrimmage, and Sean Smith was going to run with him, vacating that space because it looked like TJ Graham won on the slant as well. However, Sean Smith didn't go with Stevie Johnson. He stayed right there, and it ended up being a pick six off to the races, 100 yards. And like I said, that changed the game. The game was never the same. It's 10-10 at this point. But if you're Buffalo, you're decimated now. Your whole spirit's in this game gone. I mean, everything you've worked for up until that point of the football game crumbled on one single play. And so now the Chiefs have new life. It's 10-10. And you know at this point they got the Bills right where they want them now. Chiefs put together a drive that nets them a field goal. They've taken the lead at 13-10, their first lead of the game. And at this point, you feel like the Chiefs aren't going to look back in this football game after they take that lead. Two receivers, same place, neither wants it completely. Ball hits the ground, equals a Bills field goal. You're moving the football. Again, Jeff Toole gives you an opportunity to pick up a first down on third down on a crucial situation. Two Bills receivers, I don't think they are supposed to be in that same area. I think someone made a mistake. And either way, I think TJ Graham and Scott Chandler, or Easley and Chandler, one or the other, doesn't matter. Two receivers, same predicament, same location, each reaching for the football. Neither really wants it completely because they think the other one's going to grab it. It hits the ground. Bills have to settle for a field goal. We're knotted up at 13 again, but if you're Buffalo, you got to get in the end zone, okay? You have to score touchdowns. Again, field goals don't win games. Touchdowns do, unless you're the Kansas City Chiefs. Then you can kick all the field goals you like because your defense will score points and force turnovers and make those field goals hold up. So, booming Dustin Colquitt punt combined with great special teams pins Bills deep in their own territory, which sets the stage for Marcus Cooper. Here we go again, another Marcus Cooper sighting. To poke the ball free from TJ Graham on a short crosser, Tamba Hali scoop and score. S&S. S&S for Tamba Hali scoop and score, 20-13. And at this point, if you're the Bills, what else can go wrong? You've got these guys on the rope. You've got these guys on the ropes, excuse me. And the bell rings. They get to go back to their corner. The corner man splashes some water on their face. They get them back into the, all right, come on, we need you. All right, we need you to step it up. They send the Chiefs back out into the ring, and they're able to regain their composure, and they're able to get back into the ball game. You make the mistake. They get the 100-yard return. They get a field goal. You drop the football on third down. You get a field goal. They force a turnover. They get it in the end zone. This Chiefs defense continues to be the backbone of this football team. You're not going to force the Chiefs into many mistakes. You had an opportunity. You forced Alex Smith to fumble the football. You don't recover. They're not going to give you a lot of opportunities. This Chiefs team wins on forcing mistakes and not making mistakes of their own. They get the mistake that they need to take the lead, 20-13, tack on another field goal off of some great field position later on in the game, and they get it done 23-13 versus the Buffalo Bills. Chiefs go to 9-0 in the season, and look, again, wasn't the prettiest of victories, but it never is with Kansas City. All that matters is at the end of the day, you look up at the scoreboard, and the Chiefs have more points than you do. And you don't know how it happens sometimes because you feel like you've outplayed the Chiefs, but their defense gets it done 9 times out of 10. This season so far, it's been 10 times out of 10. You can't get that score when you need it versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Bills had the opportunity, but I don't trust Jeff Tuel. And that's why you lost this football game, because Jeff Tuel had an opportunity to win this game. He throws the pick six, 100 yards the other way. Game changes. It's never the same. Chiefs are 0-9. Bills are 3-6. And that's what good teams do. They find a way to win. And that's what bad teams do. They find a way to lose. This is a very talented, hungry Bills football team. Just imagine if C.J. Spiller was 100%. I mean, he went off in this game on essentially an ankle and a half. And so just imagine if he was 100%. Just imagine if you had E.J. Manuel or at least Thad Lewis, what you could do in this season. But you remain banged up. This is a dangerous team at home. I'll tell you this much, and then I'm going to get out of here. At some point, the Buffalo Bills are going to get a team at home and beat them that they have no business beating. I'm just telling you right now, somebody's going to get got by the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo at some point in the season. Maybe they've already done that by beating the Carolina Panthers. I don't know. But somebody else, I think, down the line is going to get got in Buffalo. I don't know who it is. I don't know what the remaining home schedule is. But somebody's going to get got later on in the season by this Buffalo Bills team at home. They're a dangerous team, a dangerous group when they're at Orchard Park. So that's going to do it for this edition of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Come back as I continue to break down week number 9. I've got many, many more games to go. So I'll see you back here in a little bit. Thank you for joining me. See you in a bit.